Sports psychology is a discipline of science, and therefore a quick recap of the scientific method and how it applies to sports psychology is necessary. The scientific method involves 6 steps. It starts when you ask a question about something that you have observed. It could be considered the how, what, when, who, which, why, or where. Secondly, you conduct background research. You could utilize databases, journals, other reliable sources. Thirdly, you construct a hypothesis. A hypothesis is your proposition to explain a phenomenon which can be tested to determine its validity. An example hypothesis might be athletes of team sports are more sociable than individual sport athletes. Next, you must test your hypothesis. You could do this by conducting an experiment, and this will test whether your prediction is accurate and thus your hypothesis is supported or not. Fifth, analyze your data and draw conclusions. Your data collection and analysis helps you determine if your hypothesis is supported or not. And from this you can draw conclusions as to why this is so. Finally, communicate your results. Academic scientists publish their final report in a scientific journal or present their results on a poster during a talk or scientific meeting. Allow me to provide you with an example of my undergraduate dissertation way back in the early 90s. And before you say anything, that was the 1990s, not the 1890s. I examined the home advantage in professional soccer in the United Kingdom's Premier League. Firstly, I had to formulate a question, so I conducted interviews with first-team professionals at Crystal Palace Football Club and Wimbledon Football Club. My first question was, are players more anxious when playing away? However, the players' conscious reply was typically, there's no difference, you have to be up for it home or away. However, the players repeatedly mentioned that referees tend to favour the home team, especially if it's a big club. Therefore, the hypothesis I created was officials, in order to appease the home crowd, are more likely to award an incorrect penalty kick decision to the home team. Step 4 is testing this hypothesis. So I gained permission from the Premier League to analyse all the penalty kick decisions of the 1991-92 and 92-93 seasons. Then I took 3 experienced referees to the Sky Television studios in London to review all penalty kicks over those 2 Premier League seasons, utilising slow motion replay. Using a chi-square statistical test, the data revealed, but not to a significant level, in terms of incorrect decisions in favour of the home team. However, when big clubs played against small clubs, the results did achieve a significant p-value. Your next assignment is a discussion board assignment. You must create a hypothesis for a sports psychology related question that you have. An example hypothesis might be team players are more sociable than individual sport athletes. Post your hypothesis on the discussion board, and then you must read a classmate's post. Reply to their hypothesis with an example of how they might collect data to examine their hypothesis. Of course, you do not have to conduct the experiment. Your hypothesis can be related to any field of sports psychology, such as anxiety, stress, motivation, confidence, self-talk, visualization, team cohesion. These are all examples of topics you could choose from, and also please consult your textbooks for more.